Grand Metropolis, Stage 3, or technically Zone 2. I don't know why they named the number of the stages individually.
That's one of those decisions. It's like, who cares?
Nah, it's just like everyone does names in the from the first name for this, which is why in Generations it's called Seaside Hill instead of Seaside Ocean or Seaside Palace.
I understand slightly why they switched up the locations slightly when you go from zone act to act in each zone. So it didn't really bug me too much when it wasn't, they didn't like explicitly say Seaside Palace. I didn't care.
Yeah, I think it's the first name people think of. And that's actually, and speaking of genre iterations, I don't particularly like Seaside Hill in that game, especially modern.
I think it's alright, but I'm not a big Generations guy to begin with, so whatever.
A lot of people still play this as number one on their top 5 3D Sonic games, and believe me, I got quite a few comments putting that as number 1.
Didn't you think this was the best 3D Sonic one at one point?
Universally, I consider it number 2.
Really?
Personally, I'm not too sure after playing through it. Right now, it's like Adventure 1, Heroes, and Unleashed equally my favorites in 3D games.
My opinions have shifted a lot on Unleashed since I've played it through a bunch. I do actually think it has a lot of varying pathways, a lot more than Sonic Generations, and a lot more interesting ones than in Sonic Generations, because it actually leads to different areas and stuff.
Yeah, it was like, you can tell it was initially going to be Adventure 3. It was initially planned. That's why a lot of familiar areas. But then again, a lot of people would say Sonic 06 is Adventure 3, or this is Adventure 3. But there is no Adventure 3.
Yeah, in terms of actual naming, I don't think there's an Adventure 3, but if I was going to choose one that was closest to it, no, it wouldn't be Sonic 06. That game wasn't even done.
It wasn't even finished. And plus, it was a reboot.
Yeah, so I think Sonic Unleashed was probably the closest they came to matching adventure style without actually doing it, so whatever.
It's like, a lot of people disregard it, saying, oh, it's bad. It's just bad. Yeah, if it wasn't for Unleashed, you wouldn't have your precious colours or Generations. And no, I'm not a big fan of colours. I like Orbot and Cubot. They remind me of Scratch and Grounder.
Forever, my biggest issues with Unleashed will always be the Werehog. I just don't think it needed to be there. Or if it did, or if there was... But I do think there needed to be something to break up the pace. At the same time, that was kind of going overboard because it kind of overwhelmed the actual gameplay everyone liked.
Well, I am considering reviewing it, but I like the idea of contrast. Because that's what it initially is for the entire game. That and the subject of food, but the idea of contrast.
I get that, but we'll get to it when we get to it. But I get that idea, and I like it, but I just don't think the Werehog... I think it slows down the game too much, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's a very unique take. Plus, it's better than having like 5 different gameplay styles. It's just that one. And plus, it's not like it was poorly designed. It works.
It's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But
I would say it's very un-Sonic.
Back to this game.
Oh yeah, I paused it because my brother walked in the room.
Well, back to this game proper. What do you think of Grand Metropolis?
Every time I hear the music, I just want to sing that fucking song.
I don't know. The soundtrack in general for me is not very memorable.
I think it's the first time I tried doing more variants of music rather than just like straight up rock or jazz. Not saying both are bad, rather prefer the jazz one. But it's the soundtrack in this game is a lot more varying. Like there was more, even though it still has guitars. The guitar in this had a lot more electronic added to it.
That's the thing. I don't like the way the instruments sound. They just sound too fake, too plastic. Like this entire game feels kind of plastic to me.
Not just a look, anyway.
Yeah, it feels artificial, and I don't know. Something. as much as people don't like the more realistic Sonic Adventure games, I kind of just like how natural it looks. Like, I don't know, there's something about the graphics that makes it look more natural than this.
And then again, it's a new engine and everything. The same graphical style be moved
Maybe
on.
it's the engine that's throwing me off.
Yeah, I think you used the same one for Shadow the Hedgehog, which you think, okay, you got to go for more urban and more detail. Why the fuck does Shadow look like plastic?
Maybe it's also because this is my suspension of disbelief's kind of thrown out the window with these environments. Then again, I don't know exactly what I'm expecting.
Why are you expect? So that you just leave. They have cities with loop-the-loops.
That's my thing. I don't know what I'm expecting. I think I'm just too grounded sometimes. Sonic sometimes gets way too abstract with its level creations.
You need to lay off the Assassin's Creed and Mass Effects.
I can't. I just can't.
No, I can't either.
But yeah, Grand Metropolis and whatever the hell this level was called.
Power Plant.
Yeah, they kind of illustrate the artificiality for me.
Well, it's hard not to chuckle at that, considering this place is full of artificial stuff.
Yeah, these walkways were.
It's when you get to Frog Forest and you start complaining about realistic.
Those moving pathways, though, are kind of those are an interesting gameplay idea. I kind of wish they did more with them instead of just having them, push you forward.
They did with Sonic CD in Quartz Quadrant.
But I wanted that in 3D. This is kind of.
They kind of did in with what was it, Final Lake in the Sonic Adventure.
Oh yeah, but
briefly.
I don't know. The controls didn't really complement it, like pushing you backwards. I don't know. I kind of wish they just did more with it, but whatever.
And then, I don't know, this part just I don't get it. Like, oh yeah, I know that to go up, just stop.
It's not even like a loading screen or anything. I'm thrown out of my element here.
Yes, there's a good question of that level design. Like, this elevator, there's no point for it.
This kind of just breaks up the flow of the level, actually. In hindsight.
If you do Sonic, do Sonic. If you want to do Crash Bandicoot, do Crash Bandicoot. That's a stop-go platformer.
That was kind of out of nowhere, honestly. Like, elevator? Where? What do I do with this?
Yes, can I go forward now? Well, no. Can I? No.
Oh, you're
then of course you got the scripted sections, which is a common aspect now.
I can't tell. Are there more scripted sections in this game or in earlier ones or later ones?
Adventure 2 and 06 had a lot of scripted areas.
Yeah.
At least with later on the actual script. Yeah, there wasn't really much scripted sections because you had a boost.
I'm trying to think of it. Well, this game is longer than Adventure 1 and 2 in terms of content, so I don't know how exactly.
It depends how you go by content. If I could just change the characters to play for it 4 times, is content, and fair enough.
I'm sure they had to code the levels 4 times for all 4 of the teams.
Yeah, but it's not like get any variance like in Adventure 2. For Adventure 2, at least each level was designed per character, even if some were clones, like Wild Canyon and Dry Lagoon.
I think Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 probably have less scripted scenes because I can't really recall a lot from Sonic Adventure, at least none that are
Windy Valley.
memorable. Well, yeah, but past that I can't really remember much, and Sonic Adventure 2, that's really only applicable to the speed characters, because there's not a lot of scripted sections for all the other characters, because that really wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Where would you script something for the treasure hunter? That's my thing. But, yeah, I don't know. I do think this generation of Sonic, including Adventure and Adventure 2, because Sonic Generation says so,
has the Dreamcast era, quote unquote,
has the least amount of scripted scenes. Or whatever.
Shadow, yeah, he has quite a few, but then again, some of the levels are open-ended, which is a stupid design decision.
For Sonic, yes it is. I don't know what, like, the whole point of Sonic is to go fast, but you still want that linearity to it when you have this open space to roam around in.
Unleashed got it perfect. It had its occasional 2D sections, and that had a bit more stop-go routines with the platforming, but not so much like this.
Like, I think in terms of, In terms of an open world, I think the ones that give you enough space, like adventure and adventure, which gives you open space, but it's Sonic so fast it doesn't really matter. I think that's better than just giving you some wide open area where Sonic can do a light jog. Oh, 6. Silver.
Some of the level designs are okay.
Sorry, I had a little cough.
Then it goes got Unleashed, which levels are so fucking huge. They're only about 3 minutes long, but fucking
they're
huge
huge,
levels.
but they're linear, so you don't notice how huge they actually are. Because they go from a
yeah, go on.
It's kind of like set piece to set piece, but you don't notice because the energy is so kinetic, and I think that's what I'm coming to appreciate about it. It has a fast pace, but it's not distracting.
No, because you're focused on the speed and going to get a better time. A lot of people say it's more like a race car, which kinda.
Maybe that's why I like that one, but I don't like the future ones, because it kind of focuses on speed in a way that, you're gonna like speed running, but you know,
I've seen speedrunners who's actually break the entire fucking game. It's like, no, do it properly, please.
They're still fun to be had by going through the levels and seeing the different pathways, which is something I think Generations, as many pathways as it has, I don't know. It all feels kind of samey. Because all the levels, they all lead to different pathways, but it doesn't feel like you're ever like going a different way that feels unique.
No, because you'll find that one pathway, you'll keep going back through that. Like in Rooftop Run, you go through that same fucking overhead pass.
And I think Unleashed has that, like, it shows you enough of the level when you're going through a different pathway, so you want to go through that pathway and see what it's like. By the way, these boss fights fucking suck. Screw these things.
Yeah.
Like, these are, like, the worst boss fights, I think, out of all these character battles in Sonic.
Yeah, because this is the technique. Just fucking...
At least Sonic Adventure is over quickly.
I have no idea what the fuck happened then. I can't remember what the hell happened anyway.
Sonic Adventure, it's over quickly. And Sonic Adventure 2, they're not terribly designed. They're just sort of lazy.
When I was doing the top 10 worst boss battles, I didn't put these on because there is some form of rivalry between the teams because I like that dynamic, but they are just bad ideas. But having a boss rush mode, an enemy rush mode, that's worse.
Yeah.
See in part 3.
See in part 3 in that next level, whatever it is.